welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Video Mail for the week of December 23rd, 2013. Welcome to the site to you new members, and welcome back to the old. The Ask Video Mail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video, just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it. So please send your questions to webmaster@KennyRoy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. There is no such thing as a stupid question, and it is the best way to get the most out of the site. Man, we are here. It is the end of the year. What an exciting time. I know I keep on teasing guys, telling you that I have amazing news coming along, but I truly, if this news, if it works out, boy, man, just cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross every appendage you have. Please, 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 let this work out. I'm really, really hoping for this one, and it'll mean huge things for the site and the animation community as a whole. So just cross your fingers for me. Anyway, these Ask Video Mails have been a real joy to do. KennyRoy.com is over 3 years old now, so it is the biggest and longest running library of specific animation tutorials of this sort. So that's kind of cool. Pat yourselves on the back, keeping this site going. And I'll do this until the day I die. It's just such a blast. So your enthusiasm is really what drives me. You sending in questions is really what drives me. So please continue to do that. And I promise I'm just going to keep on bringing it for you guys. All right? It is, like I said, the end of the year. There's not going to be any interruption in the content here on KennyRoy.com, so don't worry about that. There's going to be a video mail, and the lecture was just posted. But I'd like to just encourage you guys just right now, because it's the end of the year, to start thinking about those New Year's resolutions and maybe help your fellow animators fulfill their New Year's resolutions. If they want to up their game, maybe coax them to join the Anim Gym, because that's like, it literally was created because it is the best way to get as good as you possibly can with your current workflow at animation right now. And it's I think it's going very, very strongly. I'm seeing improvement already in the people that are in the Anim Gym. So maybe help your friends who are animators fulfill those New Year's resolutions of getting really good this year, and push them that way. Anim Gym is going strong. Also sending in questions for the Ask Video Mail, participating in the forums as well. So that's it for this week's announcements. But remember to cross your fingers. Good things coming our way. Let's take a look at the question, shall we? This is a great question. We had a similar question to this, and I answered that one already. It was just basic lip-sync tips. But I'd like to answer this one in a sort of different way, and show you a little trick. We don't like to depend on tricks, but tricks are great. Tricks are fun to have in your bag of tricks, and to take them out whenever you need to kind of, I don't know, maybe just give it that little oomph. Or if you're under deadline and you can't possibly, apply your entire workflow to something, or, it's the 11th hour and there just has been like a ton of notes that have come back. For instance, in this case, that your lip sync is not quite reading. What reading is that it's the difference between the mouth moving and the mouth actually being visible as making the sounds that it is supposedly making. Okay, and it's a very subtle difference, but it's a very important difference, of course. Normally, the things that make it so that it doesn't read is that there isn't a distinct shape where we're hearing a distinct shape. Okay, we always also want to make sure that the lip sync, if anything, is a little too early for the sound. People are fine with hearing something they just saw, but they absolutely do not want to hear something and then see it. Okay, because light travels faster than sound. Just that little delay, that 1 frame delay, will completely kill your lip sync. So if anything, it should be 1 frame forward, or maybe even 2 frames forward. That will help with readability as well. But mostly, what readability has to do with is that distinct shape that we expect to see, okay? So if someone goes, no, right, if you don't have that really like sort of like cartoon or iconic, you know, the O shape, then it's not going to feel like it read, okay? It's not reading, okay? Reading is another way of saying that it is coming across at the size and the speed that it is on screen in that shot. Another thing that affects readability is the motion of the character, the speed of the character. So if your character's moving really, really quickly, and it's like, no, well, I just moved so quickly that the normal size, no, like this, no, is not really going to read if I'm turning quickly and you're depending on that normal shape that you would use if I'm standing still. No, right? No, it doesn't quite read. So what you have to do is you have to take just a little bit out of the lips and the jaw and put it into the body. Here's another example. I've always said that laughing is the easiest thing in the world to animate because it's no lip sync. You just open the jaw, leave it there, and move the body. Ha 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 ha. Right? No lip sync at all. Novices at animation do this. Ha 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 ha. It looks very, very weird. It looks like a nutcracker. Right? Whereas if you just lock that jaw open and move the body convincingly, ha 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 ha, that actually reads as a laugh. Okay? So my overall tip for you to make it a little bit more readable is to take it out of the jaw and the lips and put it in a little bit into the body. And I just want to show you just this really, it's actually like a cheat, but it's a really quick thing that you can do just to give yourself if it's like you know 1 a.m. and it's due like right in the morning, here's just a little tip, all right? But don't depend on this, but it's fun to have, okay? So check this out. I have a Myosine, and this is the bloke character, all right? Now, this won't work if you're referencing in your rig, and so what you want to do is you want to make a new rig, a copy of the rig that you're referencing in, and do this to the actual rig. Here we have his head control, okay? And his head control basically rotates his head, and all these rotations, the amount that it's rotated is on this head control itself. But what we need to do first is we need to create a group above this, okay? And so I already did that. No, I didn't. Not on this one, I didn't. Okay, so if we select this and hit Control G, now there's a group above this head in the hierarchy. It's below whatever was this head control was contained in, but it's above this head. So if I select this head and hit up, then I have this group, okay? And this is what we need to do, okay? So we have our head and we have our jaw open, okay? So one thing that really is kind of like a super cheated way to make it so that the lip sync is reading, especially at long distances, is to make the head counter animate against the jaw. All right, and rather than do that by hand, you can do that actually automatically. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually. Sorry about that. I keep on forgetting. I'm going to do a set driven key. All right, it's very simple. So first I'm going to select the group by selecting that head control and hitting up. Then go to set driven key and then set. Okay. Now I'm going to hit load driver, so the group is driving it. I'm sorry, no, so the group is being driven. This is right. I'm going to grab the jaw control, load driver. This is what I needed. Okay, so the driver is the jaw control, and the thing that is driven is that new group. So we're going to make the translate Y, which is the jaw open, connected to the rotate. Now let's see here. Rotate local, looks like rotate Z, okay? Which is a little bit weird, but that's fine. All right, so translate Y is connected to rotate Z. Here it is. All right, and I'm going to hit key. So when the jaw is completely closed, the head is completely straight. Now I'm going to make the jaw open, and I'm going to select the group again. I'm going to rotate it back like that. I'm going to hit key again, and that's it. Now, whenever I move the jaw, the head kind of is, is counter-animated against that. Now, this makes it look a little bit like the Canadians from South Park, but that's okay. All right. So what we're going to do is, let's just like animate this like he's doing this head turn like this, and even at long distances, all right, even at long distances, that jaw motion counter-animated against the head with all the shapes that are within that silhouette is a lot more readable. Okay? In fact, let me just crunch this up a little bit, and you'll see. You see that? See how even at a far distance, because that head has that counter animation against it, we just get a little bit more readability from the movement of that jaw. Okay, so there's a few. This is not a foolproof method, but there are a few caveats to this as well. First off, that group is only going to rotate the axis that the group is in. So the head turns, it's still going to rotate the z-axis. All right, so it works best within the range of like the normal like head turn. Like if your head's all the way over like this ends up looking kind of weird. So it really only works within maybe that 90-degree range from like 45 to 45 here. That's one thing. Second thing is that this does change the hierarchy of your rig. So if you're copying and pasting a lot of animation on your character, you're going to have to do something different. And this will actually mess up a reference scene. So you want to maybe put this in there and forget about it, and start your scene. And then if you need it, then bring it out. Don't rely on it. Like I said, this shouldn't be like oh, that's the last step of my lip sync workflow. That's really what kind of like puts that final 5% on all the lip sync that I ever do. Now, don't treat it like that. Okay, it's a lot more just for a very quick trick if you are stuck and you need a little bit more readability. But to answer the question again and kind of to summarize, readability is when we see the shape that we expect to see for what we're hearing. Okay, and those very distinctive shapes, like the big O, like when we hear like that O sound. Or even like if someone's like just getting like a nice clean read of those teeth, because we're hearing that sound, is very important. Okay, one way that you can improve this is by following the lip sync workflow that is proposed in my lip sync lectures, which is to do a jaw open close pass and get that actually perfect before you do your narrow wide pass. A lot of readability comes from the accurate movement of the jaw. Okay, and so if you're not living under here with your hand while you're working on that lip sync animation, I think you're doing something wrong. So look into that as well, and I think you'll be in much better shape. But this was a great question. Please send more questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. Hope you enjoyed this. Good luck with your animation, and as always, rock on.